Hello, future Java developers. I'm excited you're here. We're about to embark on a journey. This journey is learning Java programming. Today we're taking a big step. You'll learn how to create your very first Java object. Don't worry if you're completely new to this. We'll start with the basics. We'll guide you every step of the way. By the end, you'll have the knowledge to build simple Java programs. This is the foundation for amazing things. Are you ready? Let's get started. Before we dive into creating objects, let's talk about OOP. OOP stands for Object-Oriented Programming. It's a special way to think about programming. It's like building with Lego blocks. In OOP, we create objects that represent real-world things. For example, imagine you're building a game. You might have objects like player, enemy, and weapon. Each object has its own properties, like name, health, and damage, and actions like move, attack, and defend. This makes our code organized and easy to understand. Now, let's talk about classes. Classes are like blueprints in the world of Java programming. They define what an object is and what it can do, essentially laying down the structure and behavior of the objects. Think of a class as a cookie cutter, a tool that shapes the dough into a specific form. It defines the shape of a cookie, just like a class defines the structure of an object. We use the class to create objects, which are instances of the class. Objects are the actual cookies, the tangible items created from the blueprint. For instance, if we have a class called dog, it describes what a dog is in terms of its characteristics and behaviors. It has properties like breed, color, and name, which define the attributes of the dog. It can also do things like bark and fetch, which are the methods or functions the dog can perform. When we create an object from the dog class, we get a specific dog with its own unique values for these properties, such as a Labrador named Max, who is golden in color. Additionally, classes can inherit properties and methods from other classes, allowing for code reuse and a hierarchical structure. For example, we could create a puppy class that inherits from the dog class, adding new properties like age and new behaviors like play. This way, Java classes and objects work together to model real-world entities and their interactions, making programming more intuitive and organized. Before we start coding, we need a place to write and run our Java code. Think of it as setting up your workshop. First, you'll need to install the Java Development Kit, JDK. It's like the engine that powers Java. You can download it for free from the official Oracle website. Next, you'll need an IDE or integrated development environment. This is your coding playground. It's like a text editor, but with superpowers. Some popular choices are IntelliJ IDEA, Eclipse, and VS Code with Java extensions. Choose one and follow the instructions to install it. Section 5. Creating your first Java project. Once you have your IDE set up, let's create a new Java project. Open your IDE and look for an option to create a new project. You'll likely need to choose a name for your project and specify where you want to save it on your computer. The IDE will create a basic project structure for you. This structure helps organize your code as your project grows. You'll see a folder named SRC, short for source. This is where your Java code will live. Section 6. Building a blueprint, defining the person class. Now let's create our first class. Right-click on the SRC folder and choose to create a new Java class. Let's name it Person. This class will represent a person and will define what a person object can have and do. Inside the person class, we'll add some properties, also known as fields or attributes. These properties will store information about a person. Let's add name, a string, age, an integer, and height, a double, as our properties. Section 7. The constructor, creating objects from our blueprint. Next, we'll create a constructor. A constructor is a special method that gets called when we create a new person object. It's like a set of instructions that tells Java how to build our person object. The constructor will have the same name as our class, person. Inside the constructor, we'll initialize our properties. For example, we can set the name property to John, the age to 30, and the height to 1.85. Section 8. Bringing your object to life. Now that we have our person class and constructor ready, let's create an actual person object. To do this, we'll use the new keyword. Think of the new keyword as a magical command that brings our blueprint to life. We'll write Java person1 equals new person. This line of code does two things. First, it declares a variable named person, one of type person. This variable will hold our new object. Second, it uses the new keyword to call the constructor of the person class and create a new person object. Section 9, adding actions to your object. Objects in Java can also perform actions. Let's add a simple method to our person class. A method is like a function that belongs to an object. We'll call our method sayHello. Inside the sayHello method, we'll print a greeting to the console. For example, we can print, hello, my name is followed by the person's name. To access the name property inside the method, we'll use this .name. This keyword refers to the current object. Section 10, the main event running your Java program. To run our Java program, we need a special method called the main method. This is where the execution of our program begins. The main method acts like the director of our program. Inside the main method, we'll create a new person object using the new keyword, just like we did before. Then, we'll call the sayHello method on our person object using the dot notation. This will execute the code inside the sayHello method and print the greeting to the console. Section 11, compile and run. Seeing your object in action, now comes the exciting part. Running our program. This is where all your hard work pays off, and you get to see the results of your coding efforts. Most IDEs have a run button or a menu option to compile and run your Java code. This button is usually located in a prominent place, making it easy to find and use. When you run your program, the IDE will first compile your code. This step is crucial as it checks for any syntax errors and ensures that your code is ready to be executed. Compiling is like translating your code into a language that the computer understands. Think of it as converting your high-level instructions into machine code that the computer's processor can execute. If there are no errors in your code, the IDE will then execute your program. This means that the computer will follow the instructions you've written and perform the tasks you've specified. You should see the output of your program in the IDE's console window. This is where you can verify that your program is working as expected. In our case, you should see the greeting, hello, my name is John, printed to the console. This confirms that your object has been created and is functioning correctly. Congratulations, you've successfully created and used your first Java object. This is a significant milestone in your programming journey. Keep practicing and experimenting with different objects to enhance your skills. Section 12, you did it. Now what? You've taken your first steps into the world of Java programming. You've learned about object-oriented programming, classes, objects, constructors, and methods. You've even written a simple Java program that creates a person object and makes it say hello. The key now is to practice. The more you experiment with Java code, the more comfortable you'll become with the concepts. Try creating different classes, adding more properties and methods, and see what you can build. Section 13. Need more help? Learning to code takes time and practice. Don't get discouraged if you encounter challenges along the way. Remember, every programmer starts somewhere and everyone faces hurdles at some point in their journey. It's important to stay patient and persistent. Coding is like learning a new language. It requires consistent effort and dedication. Here are some resources that can help you on your path to becoming a proficient Java programmer. Oracle Java Tutorials. The official Java tutorials from Oracle are a great resource for beginners and experienced programmers alike. These tutorials cover a wide range of topics, from basic syntax to advanced features, and are written by experts who know the language inside and out. Stack Overflow. This online community is a treasure trove of programming knowledge. It's a place where you can ask questions, share your knowledge, and learn from others. The community is very active, and you can find answers to almost any programming question you might have. If you're stuck on a problem, chances are someone has already asked and answered it on Stack Overflow. Make sure to search thoroughly before posting a new question, and don't hesitate to contribute your own answers if you can help others. YouTube tutorials. Many excellent YouTube channels are dedicated to teaching Java programming. Channels like Programming with Mosh and freecodecamp.org offer comprehensive tutorials that can help you understand complex concepts in a simple and engaging way. Search for Java for Beginners or Java Object-Oriented Programming to find helpful videos. These tutorials often include practical examples and projects that you can follow along with, making the learning process more interactive and enjoyable. If you have any questions or need further clarification, feel free to reach out in the comments below or connect with me on social media. Engaging with the community can provide you with additional support and motivation. I'm always happy to help aspiring Java developers. That's it for today. Remember, the journey to becoming a proficient programmer is a marathon, not a sprint. Take your time, practice regularly, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please consider subscribing to my channel and sharing it with your friends who might be interested in learning Java. Your support helps me create more content and reach more aspiring developers. Happy coding, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep pushing forward, and remember that every line of code you write brings you one step closer to mastering Java.